Yeah. We'll do a win. We're live, Amanda.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Hello.
Just pulling up my trousers.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Right, thanks for that, Andrew. Like, countdown was not there at all. 5, 4, oh, well, we're in. Okay. Bless him.
Right, we're all good. Let's
we're
go
all
for it,
good.
shall we?
Let's go. So welcome to Friday morning.
Welcome
we
to
made
Friday.
it. Yay! But we've still got one more day to go. So you're with me. I'm really sorry, everybody. You've got me and David all morning tomorrow morning.
Are you apologising on your own behalf there?
Yeah, I'm really, sorry. So you've got us two.
And she's drinking coffee again.
Yeah, I've had a black coffee this morning. I realised that I didn't like the milk in it anymore. So I've just had a whole black coffee, Andrew. So in about 20 minutes, I'm going to be spiralling round the room, which is really good
That'll be
for
nice.
everybody.
Looking
David
forward
says
to
he's
that.
leaving when I get to that point. So good morning, where can you watch and how do you shop? So you can watch us on YouTube. I think it's already kicking in.
Oh.
You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. And of course, you can watch us on our website as well. So you can't shop on YouTube, but you can watch us on your big telly on the app. To shop with us, you need to have your social media platforms open, whether that be Instagram or Facebook. And we'll be giving you codes throughout the show. So I'll tell you to type shop, and the first one is lines. So type shop lines into comments below. You'll get a notification from us here with a link inside the message. Open the message, click the link, and that will take you to your shopping basket on our website. Really easy. Log in and check out. Super simple. Then when you're shopping with us on our website, you can click the items that you can see on your screen and put them in your basket. So add to basket along the way, so you can shop ahead a little bit if you want to. Then after that, at the end of the show, when you're checking out, you do exactly the same thing. However, you've got a little red shopping basket in the top right hand corner. Click on that, log in and check out. Nothing could be easier. It's super, super simple. So now you know how to watch us or where to watch us. And if you're there, you already know that. And then also how to shop. So shall we get going? Because, oh my goodness, I'm just going to tell you, everybody, the savings on this show are amazing.
They are.
We love Cadence and also I love the stencils. So we've got a bit of I'm going to get a bit giddy. And
Well, it's a technique show.
It is a technique show.
Yeah.
So this is really, really good. And obviously, we've got the king of Cadence with us at the moment. So like I said, shop lines is your first one. So these are your Craftmaster Gilded Lines stencil collection. Now, I'm going to tell you the saving before I tell you how much it is. Okay.
Tell us.
Now, in each one of these has got more than, it's not one stencil, it's a set of stencils, okay?
Yeah, you can get 5 in each. So you've got 5, 10, 15, 20 stencils.
You've got a set of stencil. You're saving $74.96 with this, okay? $74.96. All 4, it's not a pick and mix, all 4 this morning, the $34.99, which is, I know, right?
Wow.
Incredible. I love that we did these for you because we've also done them. Are you getting all?
They
I'll have
drive
that.
me mad.
So I'll pop that there. You also get sentiments in these as well. So if you have a little look, you've got a background image with all words on. You get an actual quote or a saying in here as well.
Yeah.
And they all change throughout, okay? And then if you look on here, these are your layers. Now, when David takes us through, each one is numbered.
Yes,
and we
you're
could
number
have
1.
given you that in the middle of a stencil, but we didn't.
Yes.
We've put both 2 layers at least on each stencil, so we're not wasting any space. Now, this one is gorgeous. So this is your rose. Then in addition to all of the stencil, you get this one.
So this, of course, is your embossing stencil. So you build up all of your stencil design, and then once you've finalized, finished off your image, added your acrylic, metallics, whether it's your pastels, you then run it through with your embossing file on your Pro Cut, and then it redefines all of the indentations, all of the gradient depth, but also brings your image to life. Now, of course, you can then go over the top with your foiling pen, your metal leaf, of course, the ones that we had on from Craftmaster the other day. to create those gilded lines.
That's what it's all about. So this is a technique where you add in your colourway, and then your last one actually is where you use your foiling pen to add in the detail. So all 4 of those shop lines, $34.99, a $74.96 savings.
That's crazy.
So
I mean,
yeah, how many sets?
so we're going to get 20 in total. You're going to get 5 in each
4
set.
sets.
It's incredible value for money. And of course, we're really busy already on this one with over a £70 saving against the stencil bundle. Is incredible value for money. But these, of course, are going to take you through a completely new stenciling journey. They allow you to be not only incredibly creative, but also allow you to incorporate a variety of tools within one craft, which I think, again, is very niche, but also at the same time very hard to actually to achieve within your crafting.
Absolutely.
But you can do it so effortlessly with these.
But again, these aren't just stencils. Remember, we've put that special embossing stencil in there with them.
All of that.
So you're getting stencils and an embossing folder, really, aren't you?
Absolutely.
But it's in a stencil format. Yeah. So there's a lot happening there. So like I say, $34.99 for all of that is amazing. Now, the next one, I fell in love with this when we first did this because I like making my own backing papers, okay? So we've got shop background. And again, you've got background stencils. This is your mega buy, okay? So
this one here for you. This here is shop background. This one, is it? This one here. This one here is our background stencils. So these are our Gilded Lines background stencils, our 8x8s. Yeah, you get 18 stencils inside here. This is the one with all of your surface texture, all of your elements inside here. These are amazing.
So this is, okay, I'm going to tell you the saving first. $99.95. So we've got $99.95, okay? $99.95 for this. $34.99 is your price. You're saving not quite £100 on this one.
Absolutely.
I can't believe that.
The bundle that we just shared with you previously, just moments ago, which of course was this variety here. This one here was shop lines for this one, okay? This here is your bundle that we've just shared with you. That one there, really busy, of course. That one is shop lines. We're now going to share with you, of course, our shop background, okay? A lot of you are going to be going for the pair of these. Of course, they will work together absolutely beautifully. So we're going to tell you a little bit about what you're getting inside this incredibly monstrous saving amount of value inside here. Let's have a look inside it, of course, because you're actually going to get 18 inside here, because you're going to get 3 in each one of the packs. Now, these are your 8x8 stencils, which, of course, are created in a series of layers. These are incredible. Of course, as well, we've got questions as well coming in. Will they fit on a 6x6 card? Absolutely. You can crop them down, you can cut into them. But yes, of course, with your stencil designs from your Gilded Lines, they will work alongside here for A5s, but you can cut them into an A6 or a 6x6 if you wanted to. So
these are your layers, okay? Now, to me, these aren't just layers. These are also just individual stencils on their own. So you don't have to use them as layers. Look what you can be getting. Look at all these. These are absolutely beautiful. So that's your first one. That's your second one that goes on top. And then you've got your detail one. Then addition again with all of these, you get your embossing one as well. So they're not just stencils. Look at these. But if you wanted to, I like the embossing one because it's a thicker mylar for the texture paste, because when you lift it off, it's a thicker paste, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, it is. Now, of course, you're going to get 18 stencils, but you're also going to get an embossing stencil in each and every one, which means you get 24 stencils in total. So, of course, you're going to get 3 in each pack with that embossed detail. These are incredibly detailed. They mean, of course, that your cardstock has that indentation, that pronounced finish for a finessed, beveled edge that you can achieve not only with, of course, your Pro Cut, but then with your favourite paste, your favourite inks, your favourite spritzers. We've got loads and a whole host of them on the show for you today. But that is a great way to get incredible results while saving just under £100.
I can't believe that saving. And like I say, these are big staples, aren't they? But then again, you don't have to use all of your stencil. You can actually... It's like fussy cutting, but with a stencil, isn't it? So remember, you can do all your masking techniques. Just put a bit of tape on. If you only want the corners, So there you've got lovely corner flourishes. Put your tape on and only use your corner. In the middle, tape off your corners and just use that little star piece.
Yes.
Rotate it round and use it in a different orientation.
This is a bonkers deal for you today, of course. If you've not already shopped ahead for this, please do it now. You don't want to miss out on this. Cracking saving alongside here. I have never ever seen before in my time whilst crafting, seen a bundle of 24 stencils incorporating that fabulous embossing technique for, of course, just £34.99. It is ridiculous. This is what we can do on a Friday morning for you.
Yeah, it is.
So take advantage. And of course, we're going to do some projects with this as well.
Just had a thought.
Ooh.
I've just had a think.
That coffee.
It's that coffee. So if you draw through this and use your graphite paper with a pencil, you can also use your pyrography tool as well.
You can do.
So you could do pyrography blocks. They'd be nice coasters.
Oh, they would.
Varnish over the top, little bit of watercolouring in it.
Fabric design, surface
Yes.
pattern, if you want to do embroidery over the top of it. There is so much you can do. These are by far one of our most favoured and treasured collection of stencils, and they are a bonkers price for you. We're going to have a look at some more items on our show, though, because you might be wanting to put some stuff through them.
You do. So to put your stuff through them, you need your tools.
You do need your tools.
You need your tools. So first of all, this is a proper deal, okay? So these are Shop Sponge. They are your Royal and Langnickel. I always want to say Langernickel, but it isn't. It's Langnickel. Sponge stippler sets. You get in 2.
Yes.
Not 2 sponges, 2 packs.
2 packs of 10 pieces
Look
inside
at that. So you're getting 2 lots. So you're getting 20 sponges for £10.99. Now, if Katie comes in a little bit closer, they're not all just one size. You're getting the larger sponge. And then here, if you can you see that, darling? You've got your medium sponge, and then you've got them weeny, teeny, little, tiny ones that get into all them little tiny spaces.
Yes.
These are fabulous. 20 sponges with that fabulous wooden handle. Shop Sponge, £10.99. You've got a £2.99 saving on that.
Yeah, I love these to bits. They are fabulous. Now, I use them not only for within my cadence, my acrylics, but I use them for all of my blending inks as well. You can actually tailor each one to a specific colour. They lay flush and flat. The way that this foam is actually set, when the foam is heat set, it's on a flush flat iron surface. So what it does for you, it gives you an even buffing, an even blend, which means you can get a seamless blend from one colour to the next. I'm going to show you some techniques with these later on. They're also an incredibly dense foam. So if you are stippling with your metallics, if you're stippling with your acrylics, you get a really nice ultra fine texture on there, which actually makes your paint even more durable because you're building up layers. They're brilliant. I love these to bits. Paint each handle a certain colour as well. Yeah.
There's a thing, isn't there? So those are, remember, Shop Sponge, you get 2 packs. So you get 20 sponges for £10.99. That's not, is that about 50p a sponge? Is my maths right there?
Just a little bit bonkers, but I think so.
Now, when you look at this, you're going to go, okay, well, why have we got a squeegee on the show? Is that not for your windows? Well, you can if you want one, because this is a really silly bonkers price again. So it's Shop Tool. This is your silicone squeegee sponge, £8.99, and you get extra blades, okay?
Yes.
So when this one, you just slide this one out, so you've we're kind of giving you 3 for 1.
Well, essentially, yeah. I mean, you could use one if you want to use it for your screen printing, for your larger stencils. So if you take large surface pattern stencils like this, maybe you're going to put your paste across the top and you use it to squeegee the entire paste down, just like that. Maybe you're going to put your inks at the top of here. These are fabulous. I love these, of course, for cleanup as well. If you've been doing loads of work on your mat, spritz it with water, scrape it all off, clean it up really quickly. It's got a soft but washable grip handle on here with a removable sleeve as well. They are brilliant. I love this, and we don't have a lot of these as well.
And because they're silicone, they're really flexible, but also really easy clean up again, okay? So there's not going to be much that's going to stick to this, really.
No, the silicone's super flexible, so of course when you're working with them, even if you're doing your mosaics and you're doing larger surfaces, it's great to get all of that grout in there. But you can see how the blade just slides out from that channel just as it goes down the edge of the actual tool itself. Take it out to clean it, let it dry, and then of course you've got this. Now you also do have all of these little indentations on here, so if you want to make texture, you just turn it around and go like this, and you get all of your texture, so you can do things like this. Look at that. So you can do texture like this, or of course you can do complete flat coverage, just like that.
We like that. That's a, and again, when you're getting your tools, obviously, if you look after them, they're a lifetime thing, aren't they? So now we're going to brushes, because again, these are all the things that you need to actually put the gorgeous paints through your stencils. So these are your creative nature lines stencil brushes. Again, you're getting 2.
These are so
look
good.
at these. Okay, not only are you getting 3 pieces in each, so that's 6 stencil brushes. Again, these are one of the things that we actually, once we've got these, we choose to work with these because they're really good, aren't they? We love them. We use them in Academy and everywhere else. So if you come to Academy, these are the tools that you see on the desk that you will use while you're here. And I can guarantee that when people have been using them, they go in the shop and buy them, don't they?
They do,
because they love them.
absolutely.
So for this shop brush, both sets $10.99, and you get 3 sizes. You get a 17, a 14 and a 10, okay? They're all glued, and then they've got the ferrule on there as well. Lovely little brush wooden handles. So maybe, again, if you want to do a colour selection, you can do what David said and probably put a little bit of colour on the end of the brushes if you want that. So, because you can still stencil with these, can't you? With your inks and things like that. It doesn't matter what medium you use.
I love it as well because they're not scratchy. So I actually created this very project you're seeing here with this brush and, of course, my pastels that we're going to go to on the show. They blend seamlessly. They give you a wonderful result, whether you're working with your acrylics, metallics, or, of course, inks or pastels, anything at all. They are great to have in your stash. I absolutely love the largest one as well, especially for your bigger designs. But when you've got loads of smaller indentations, such as, of course, on your background bundle today, with those teeny tiny bits, a finer brush gets into those details. So imagine your stencil spraying this onto your fabric, onto your tote bag, onto your placemats or canvases. You're going in with your background stencil. It will get into all of those nooks and crannies, and even with the embossing stencil as well. These are the ones that you want for the job. They just glide.
I like these when you stipple with them because you get a nice texture.
Yes, absolutely. And the fact that you're getting 6 in there as well, they are great. I love them to bits.
So 6, so you're getting 2 packets, 3 in each, so you're getting 6 brushes for $10.99. Amazing. Now, I'm going to let David talk about this because this is our clean, so this is UK only, okay? We can only send it because it's an aerosol, it's only UK only. So it's the Stencil Spray Cleaner for $12.99. And this, when you've got your stencils, it's a must-have in your kit bag, isn't it?
Oh, it is, absolutely. Now, with your stencil spray cleaner, it's great for, of course, removing any leftover residue of stencil spray, so you can actually spray it onto the reverse of your stencil and it will lift any adhesive away. Of course, as well, if you've been using more heavy-duty paints on there, you can spray it on to have an easier release in the cleaning process. If you're anything like me, and sometimes you're doing loads of projects on the go and you've got a few stacks of stencils that have got a bit of paint on them and it's started to dry, spray it on and you'll find it an easier release process. Of course, it's from Cadence themselves. They're all about the cleanup as well, of course, as the application and the durability. What?
It's got a bit of paint on them.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, mine are much loved. It's character building on a stencil, I tell you. So, of course, spray it onto here. It is a solvent-based medium, of course, as well, but it gets any paint and adhesive off the stencil. So if you're stacking all your stencils together in a cello bag, you don't want them all sticking together.
No, it is cracking by. So again, one of the must-haves, when you've got your stencils, if you came into Creative and looked on our desks, all of us have got this. Every single one of us has got this on our desk because we use it every single day.
Well, I usually always have one on my desk and then mine disappears.
Because we borrow it.
And then everyone else has one and I think, what?
Well, where's mine gone? So we just let David have the new one and it comes round the desk. As in, we'll borrow it, it just comes round. So you get the new ones.
I'm more than happy to share.
He is happy to share. So this is your Cadence Stencil Spray. Now, we all use it. It's all a favourite product. We all have it on our desk. We all have it at home and we use it in our crafting daily.
Yes.
But why do we need that one?
Okay, so it's going to apply to all of those surfaces. So if you like to stencil onto glass, fabric, metal, plastic, porous or slick surfaces, such as, of course, ceramic, you can then adhere your stencils to those surfaces without it springing off, even if it's shaped, beveled, rounded, or, of course, it's got indentations on it, it will grip to the surface. Now, the beauty of this is that when you spray it onto your stencil, of course, onto the reverse, give it a good shake first. You spray it on, only a small amount is needed. You give it a quick waft, and of course then the stencil is adhesive. It will stick to you, but no residue.
No.
Feel how smooth my hand is.
Oh, that's lovely.
There's nothing at all. This residue stays on the stencil. It doesn't transfer to your project, which means cardstock, you've still got a beautiful watercolour card if you've blended through. Your canvases, your paints can still go over the top without then having an interaction with an adhesive. And it doesn't web on the surface. It doesn't, of course, create that webbing effect. It is like an ultrafine hairspray.
Now, one of the testaments to this
hairspray.
that we used the other week in our festival, we had some really big 12 by 12 stencils, and we were stenciling onto a
Silk.
kimono, and
Yeah.
it was onto silk. So you can imagine stenciling onto silk and the silk moving everywhere. All the stencils were sprayed with this before we stuck them down. Nothing bled. Okay,
Yeah.
didn't bleed into the silk, which was, I think that's a true testament that you can even use it on your finer fabrics and know that you're going to get a really nice crisp finish because that won't let you down. So the next thing that we're going to go to.
Oh, this stuff is amazing.
So we've had a lot of fun with this.
Yes. This is your piping kit from, of course, your cadence and an element that we put together here for you at Highlight Crafts. It is brilliant, but also the value for money on this is just bonkers. Do you want to tell everyone how much it is?
So this one is shop pipe, okay? You're going to get 100 piping bags with nozzles.
Yes, absolutely.
You're going to get this incredible paste, okay, that David will talk you through in a minute. And you're going to get your little tiny Teflon so you can actually put it on and peel them away.
Absolutely.
Are you ready, everybody?
I know. Hold on.
£15.99.
£15.99. Now, of course, you can stock up on additional pots of your Capella pastes. They are $12.99 individually. So that really puts it into perspective how true the value for money is within this bundle. Now, we launched this yesterday. It was incredibly busy. I know a lot of you may have joined for the shows and then afterwards thought, oh, I wish I'd gone and got it. We've now put it on today's show for you, so you've got it. If we've got time, we're definitely going to do some demonstrations. But it allows you to achieve results like this effortlessly. It's achievable for everyone. Whether you have or haven't ever done any piping artwork, whether in cake decorating or crafting before, I most certainly was not a connoisseur at piping within the cake world, but working with a kit that makes it easy, accessible and achievable for everyone is the key difference. Now you get 6 interchangeable nozzles on here as well with your elasticated bands to keep the tension. But of course you can make florals, you can create beautiful organic designs, even if you just want to do something like this or something onto a coaster or just do pearls or do swirls or sentiments. This is for you.
Yeah, you don't have to be a true artist, do you?
No.
So on this technique, this is our lovely Amber that did some of these because she's the piper, isn't she? She does cake decorating, so she was fabulous with this. However,
Jonathan spent most of his evening as well last night as well. Thank you, Jonathan. He says he spent most of his evening watching piping videos.
just so he could get the techniques nailed. I love Jonathan for doing that. So what she's done here is she's piped the outline, and then you don't have to fill it all in. Just a brush has pulled it all in and filled in the edge. How cool is that? So even if you can pipe if you can draw, a flower, even if it's not it's all a bit wiggledy-piggledy, don't worry. So get your brush out and add in the texture.
Or just go over your stamps.
Yeah, over your stamps.
Yeah, you just print off a template, a download of anything at all, of a floral, super easy. Follow it, put a glass plate over the stamp, you can see it through and trace over the top.
All your digi-stamps from yesterday that you were all buying. You can pipe all the images. How about that?
That's a great one.
Isn't that
Piping
good?
up with the ideas there.
Oh dear.
Right.
So now.
Shall I get ready for a demo?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Demo.
Right, okie dokie. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my bits and bobs. Let's have a look.
So what are we going to be using with the demo?
So I'm going to be using some stenciling. I'm going to be using our natural stencil brushes. I'm going to use, of course, some medium to put through here. So I'm going to be using my pastels and my extender.
Oh, I'll bring that forward.
Okay, and I'm going to use some stencils as well for my bundle. But I'm going to start with, of course, our fetching florals because these are going to work really well with your background stencils, and we'll have a look at those as well during this. Okay, so I've got some watercolour card here. I'm just going to tear a sheet of this out for me to use. Let's have a look. Take one of these out from my pad. And I love doing this. This is a wonderful project to get involved in.
I'm super excited this because when you see the finished element that David's created with these stencils, it's amazing. So David is using the Fetching Florals, so that's shop fetching on for $12.49. You've got a shop fetch for $12.49. They are £12.50 saving on that. So shop fetch gets you the Fetching Floral stencil. He just used the stencil spray again. So that one is shop spray, but UK only. And then we're going to be using these. Now, we've not given you the details for these. So this is shop pastel. They are your soft pastels. You get 12 colourways, as you can see here, in addition to that pot of extender. Now, the extender is a 70ml bottle, and it's $9.99. You've got a $2.99 saving on this. But wait till you actually see what you can create when you're making with these. You probably wouldn't automatically think that this would, why am I using pastels? But it works beautifully.
It really does. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my box of pastels here, and the beauty of this is you take a craft knife or a metal ruler, anything like that, and pick your chosen pastel. Now in here you've got the full selection of 12 colours. We're going to go into our purple, of course, because I'm using my Fetching Florals, and I'm going to stencil the magnolia, which of course you could do in any colour you want to, but the purple is going to look lovely. Now with your pastels, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the blade of my knife just to scrape off a portion of this, okay? So I'm just filing down into an ultra-fine dust. Now this is where we can share with you techniques that are going to be so useful within your crafting. Really small amount that has been used. Pop your pastel back in. And then what we're going to do is take our Cadence Extender. Now what this does is it gives longevity to paint. It allows the open and working time to be even longer than of course the paint would naturally withstand within room temperatures. So it allows your paint to travel further and stay open for longer.
Question?
Yes, of course.
Does it alter the definition of the paint? Does it change the colour or anything like that?
It depends on how you want to use it. Now, of course, if you're going to be working with an acrylic with this, it won't change the actual pigmentation of the paint. It will, of course, just take down the concentration, of course, of the viscosity. Yes. All right, so it'll just make it more fluid-like, but it will not change or compromise the properties of the paint. It will still support its hybrid quality.
Fabulous.
It'll just mean that, of course, it's much more fluid.
So it just takes longer to dry.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Or, of course, if you've used it thinly, not really at all. A little bit of extender picked up with that stencil brush and starting to bring in, of course, that powder that we've just taken from our fabulous pastels. Now, I'm going to show you how this works. So what we do is we go into our stencil design here. I'm going to start with our magnolia, but I'm going to got a little swatch here because I'm going to trim this out and just see what I'm working with. There we go. And start to blend in to this. Now look at how those stencil brushes are so key and fundamental within creating that blend.
You hardly used anything.
Hardly anything at all. Look at that. And again, you can see here how fine and even that coverage is there. And I'm using my stencil brush. It's given us that really nice coverage. So pick up a little bit more of that pastel, a little bit more extender, mix together and move on to your next floral. A little bit more pastel in there. Not needing much at all. There we go. And start to work into our second floral. And it's so fun to do, honestly. These pastels and the Cadence Extender work together so well. Let's pick up a bit more and move on to this bud here. There we are. Blend this through and just keep on blending. Circulating it through is the easiest way to work. And because, of course, we've added that extender in there, it allows it to, of course, gel. Even if you've done a bit of stenciling and then come back to it, it moves really easily. You can be confident with it. You don't have to worry about it grabbing in one area and then trying to shift it. Now that we've done our about 4 or 5 purple sections, I'm going to go in with a higher amount of pigmentation and a little bit more extender, okay? So a bit more extender and a little bit more of that purple, and then start at the base of our florals and work our way up with even more colour. So now what we're doing is blending that colour out, okay? So we've got more concentrated depth within our design.
That looks beautiful.
Look at that. Pick up a little bit more purple, a little bit more extender. Work to our next floral, and again, blend out. These stencils are brilliant. Bit more powder, bit more extender.
Yeah, because there wouldn't be a different way that you could be able to do this, would it? you know, to actually create this, you need the stencil to be able to get this to
Oh,
work
absolutely.
as it is.
Yeah, it's all key. All of these components are key team players within actually creating this project. You've just got to put the brush to the surface.
Which makes everybody the same.
There we are. Look at this. Okay, so taking that from the base of here, and then all I'm going to do is then pick up our brown pastel, okay, shave a little bit of this off as well. So we're taking a little bit of that brown, shaving it onto our Mylar mat just there. I've still got a bit of extender on here, so I'm going to use that. As you can see how minimal product I've used throughout this project. Take a little bit of the brown and I'll work into our stems. A little bit more of our extender in there as well. There we are. And start to blend this through. Now I'll go up to the floral a little bit just to create that brown haze at the base of the bud. There we are. A little bit more extender there, just allowing it to travel. If you feel like it's too dry and your brush is scratching a little bit on the surface, just add a little bit more extender to allow it to travel a little bit freer. Okay, there we are. And we're almost done. Look at this. Isn't it easy?
That's beautiful. Absolutely.
So achievable.
Gorgeous.
I've missed a little bit down there. There we go.
Are we doing a reveal?
No, we'll leave it at that. Yeah, of course we are. So,
are we ready?
Absolutely. So what we're going to do now is take that away, which then leaves us...
Oh, look at that!
It is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. And do you know what? It took seconds. It was so easy, but that is so impactful on the surface. I've still got this powder left. It is fabulous. We're going to have a little look as well at our background stencils through this process as well in just a few moments.
So we're going to go back over this end. So these are Shop Fetch. These are your Fetching Floral stencils, which are here. Okay, £12.49. You've got a £12.50 saving on these. So there's 3 stencils in here. They are beautiful. In fact, Andrew, can I just open these? Yep. So let me get that open for here. I've got a dark background as well to show you all. So let's start with this one. Look at the colours, look at the detail that you're going to be able to work with. And each one of these, pop a little bit of that stencil spray, so Shop Spray to remember to pop that into your basket, and you'll be doing the technique that we've just done. And also Shop Pastel will get you those 12 pastels and your extender. And you saw just how little extender David used. So that's going to last you a long time. So that's number 1. Then number 2, look, you've got these beautiful roses. Aren't they stunning? Now, the technique that David was using was, it's almost like a watercolour, turning your pastels into a watercolour. Because you can use them like this, draw these onto a wooden element, use your pyrography tool, so draw them on first, go around with your pyrography tool and use that same technique but with a brush, and you can use those to paint your pyrography images, and then that's the one that David just used. So all 3 of those stencils, £12.49 for all of those. So then we're going to go to the layering stencils. I'm just going to pop them down so I don't knock them over. So these are Shop Layer. Now I'm going to open one of the packets because I need you to see, 1, how big they are, and 2, how it all works together. So I'm going to take that out of there. So these are huge stencils. So they're A4, and then you've got the smaller one as well. So again, layering stencils, $29.99, Craftmaster ones, and there's 3 in here. So when we talk about the layering stencils, this is what you're getting. Now, they're your stamen, okay? So you place these one on top of another. You've got your leaves on that one. Those, look at that. Look how big that lily is, okay? Now, whether you're going to go through this with pastes, or you could even pipe through this, or draw through it and pipe it as well. So you're going to be able to do that. So David's going to take us through that piping technique. So there's another layer. So building up the layers, there's your large leaf, and then that is your full stencil. So you put that one down first, and then you build your image forward so you get that beautiful 3D. Look how big they are. They're huge stencils. Look at this. So we're now going to go across to our gilded lines. We know this is super, super busy. So this is your gilded lines backgrounds, okay? So you're getting all of these. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and these are sets of stencils, okay? These are sets. So you get your 3 layers to actually build up your design, which you work in, they've got the order on, so it labels it, which one you go with first. However, you've got 3 stencils. Use off your masking tape, you've got a corner one. Mask off your corners, you've got that pattern in the middle. Use them however you want to use them. But in addition to that, you've got our little magic embossing stencil. So not only have you got your stencils, you've got an embossing format as well. But the embossing stencil is a lot thicker mylar. So if you want to use it with the thicker paste,
yes,
you're going to get a denser, you're going to be able to lift it up and get that thicker edge, which is phenomenal. Now, all of that is shop background, it's your gilded line background, and this is your mega buy, $34.99. Now, the saving is $99.95.
It's bonkers. It's saving just under 100 quid. What?
So, if you, with a saving from that, I think pretty much you could get the other stencils and you'd still be on with a winner.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That's
Wouldn't
the
you?
thing. You can shop around on today's show and really put that saving against so many other products that we've got for you.
Which is, that's my craft maths, as let's say.
Right. It is fabulous.
And then your other Gilded Lines collection.
Let me take the florals. There we are.
So this is incredible. Again, these are sets of stencils, okay? You're getting 4 sets. So there's your poppy. That one is your...
There we got your gerbera.
Gerbera. Then you've got your lily. And then finally, you've got your rose. Now, again, let me show you. You also get that magic embossing stencil as well, okay? So to finish off, can you imagine stenciling that and then embossing it?
They're incredible.
Looks beautiful. So you even get that one in there, which is your thicker stencil. But we've not just put a rosebud in the middle. We filled the stencils. And all you need to do is flip it over.
Just like
and
that.
You've got your registration marks on each corner. So what you do is you put your stencil down, mark the registration marks in each corner, and when you've done that piece, you flip it over and do the next layer, layering up your registration marks. And in each corner, there's a little mark that says number 1. Then that one is number 2, and you just follow the sequence. Each one, again, following all the registration marks. But it's not just that, and the embossing stencil. You get a beautiful background, which is your words, and you get the quotes as well in there, which is fabulous. So all of that, 4 full sets of stencils. That one is Shop Lines Stencil Collection, $34.99. You're, again, got a huge saving of $74.96. All right, are you ready for us?
Absolutely crazy. Right, okay. Should we do a quick piping demo? What would you like to see?
Piping, please.
Yeah? Yeah, right, okay, let's do that then, shall we? I'm going to show you how to set it up. It's really easy. So, of course, from your piping bag kit, you want to take off 2 at a time, okay? Score it from that perforation line and then go diagonally, okay? So I'm going to go from the point and start to tear it and separate the 2 of them, just like this.
And they're really easy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're disposable as well, so you don't have to be frugal with the bags. You get 100 in there. Honestly, you're getting tons. So what we then do is we snip off around about 1 inch, okay, from the edge. Now that, of course, is for the nozzle that's supplied. You could just take off a very fine point and use it as the bag itself without the mechanism in. I'm going to show you how to work with it. So we drop this then, of course, inside the bag. So that goes straight down into the bottom of the bag like that, and squeeze it, of course, to the tip. And then you want to find just as much as you need to take off. I'm going to take a little bit more off, just so that plastic section meets where the film is. Then what you want to do is select your nozzle. I'm going to start, of course, with this one, which is your finer point, and then I'm going to interchange it for my leaf making nozzle. So yeah, you put the threaded collar just around that chrome tip, and that is your piping bag set up and ready to go. Take a glass or a mug or a drinking cup, anything like that, that will hold the nozzle in place, and roll the bag down the outer edge to fill it up. It'll make it much easier for you, okay? I always take 2 teaspoons. Keep these teaspoons for your crafting. Take, of course, a really nice heaped teaspoon into here. I usually only ever use 2 at a time. That tends to get me quite a lot of crafting. Keep the spoons inside there and pop it to one side. You've got a nice generous open working time with this. It'll take around 30 to 40 minutes at room temperature for it to create a film over the top. Okay, so you've got loads of ample working time. Take the remainder of that collar of the bag now up, and then of course what we're going to do is squeeze it to the base. Now you can feed the air out of the base of the bag at this time because of course there's no paste down here. When you're topping up, just gently squeeze the bag and it'll feed any air back out, of course, through the remainder of that polythene. Give it a twist, and then we're going to create our first flower. Okay, so bring your paste to the nozzle until you start to see it. There we go. I'm using my thumb here to add the pressure so I can get a really nice graduated flow of paste. So I'm going to put 1 dot here, 1 dot here, 1 dot here, 1 dot here, and 1 dot there. That's going to be our first flower. I'm going to make that one a little bit bigger. Then we're going to use our palette knives. Okay, you can use a multiple amount of tools for this, but I found this palette knife works really well for me. I'm then going to put into it and rotate my board each time. Okay, pushing down gently into the surface. There we go, and creating our flower. So rotate it around, make it easier for you, and look at this, how it comes together so effortlessly and so easily. Now you can redefine any of those petals, make them bigger or smaller as you go around. But then what we're going to do is go in to create our centres. So your piping tips. So we go straight into the middle and pull away, creating loads of little peaks, just circulating to create those stamens in the centre of that flower. Then what I'm going to do is I want to share with you how we make our leaves. So unthread that collar again, okay, and then rest your nozzle. It will be about 1/2 centimetre away from the top full. Now I always wrap this in a baby wipe or a damp cloth to keep it hydrated so it doesn't dry out. Then replace with, of course, your next chosen nozzle. I've gone for the leaf making nozzle for this one. Replace that collar, and then what I'm going to do is then take it to the project, start to see when the paste arrives at the tip of the nozzle. There we go, I can see it coming there. And then for your leaves, these are super easy. Pick, of course, an in-between area of your petal, take to the surface and create those leaves, just like that, okay? You can see how easy those leaves just came to life. Another one, straight to the surface, and then stop the pressure and allow it to draw away. Creating those leaves, if I just share with you a leaf here, of course, press down, create the ruffle, and then stop the pressure and just let the paste draw out, like that. You could do one that's slightly curved as well, and then taper it off, like that, and then you've got an elongated leaf. Any excess that you get, of course, that forms around the tip of the nozzled bag, just scrape it back into here and continue. Even if you just want to do a little teeny tiny leaf, you can do. Even for your petals, you could make flowers from the leaves if you wanted to. You could, of course, circulate around, just making little flowers out of these leaves. It is entirely up to you which way you would want to work. I'm working here a little bit upside down, but of course I'm going to try and just taper that around and bring one round here, so making a bit of a star-shaped petal, but keep on going. It's so easy, I absolutely love it. It's so easy to work with, and then of course you can take it to your smaller scale projects, your larger scale projects like your glassware. There is tons that you can do, okay?
Brilliant. Now we are super busy for our Gilded Lines background, so I just want to quickly give you the code again for these. So shop background, you are getting all of these, so you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, is it 6? I'm going to say there's 6.
There's 6 in there,
There's
and you get
6.
24 stencils in total.
So 24 stencils, and these are 8 by 8, and included in there you do get that fabulous embossing one as well.
We'll use one.
So shop background, Gilded Lines, this is your mega buy, and the reason it's a mega buy is it's $34.99 for all 6. However, you are saving $99.95.
Wow.
$99.95.
Oh my goodness.
So we're going to go over to the paints. Is that right, Andrew? You want me to go through the paints quickly? What does she get with the piping bundle? Come this way, lovely Marina. Thank you for your questions. We love it when you join in with us. Mm-hmm. So your piping bundle, you are going to get your piping set, which you've just seen David use, which gets you 100 bags and you also get the piping tips. Okay, so you get all of that, and they're all reusable. Your bags are disposable, but your tips you can look after and reuse. You're going to get the paste that you need to work with that. And in addition to that, you get the lovely little Teflon piece as well. So that's your non-stick element if you want to use that. All of that, shop pipe, $15.99. Now, I just want to show you the value for that you can get the extra capella if you want on its own. That is $12.99. So a single one of these is $12.99. For this set, it's $15.99. So you can see the value that you actually get in there. Because I know for you cake makers out there, this, oh my days, is a true bargain because you're getting all of that included. Now, I quickly want to go through the paint sets. Now, at the top here, these are your metallics. These are David's new favourite one to work with. So ShopRite is across the top and you're getting 6 bottles, okay? $29.95, $5.99 saving, which is incredible, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
So the next one down is your Shop Dark, okay? Again, 6 lots, $29.95, again, another $5.99 saving. The next one down are your florals. I think the florals are one of my favourites. Shop Floral, 6 lots, $29.95, again, a $5.99 saving. And then right at the bottom, I think another one of my favourites is the Highlight. So Shop Highlight, 6 of them, $29.95, $5.99 saving. They're incredibly beautiful colourways that you can get. If you can get all, I would, because they sell really quickly, these, don't they?
Well, these are our most recent release of Cadence Metallics paints. We explored and worked with these in December, late last year, of course, on our trip over to Turkey. They are incredible. Now, this here is their broadest range of metallic colours that they can offer, of course, within their expansive catalogue. Now, these here for you are a flat coat coverage. They're a pearlescent finish. So they've got that ultrafine mica powder in there, which gives you a wonderful, opulent, luxurious look and feel. Now, they are outdoors and indoor use, so they're weatherproof as well. So if you want to use them out in the garden, you want to use them on your glasswares or your terracotta pots, they will, of course, withstand those weather conditions outside that we expect to see through every season. They are beautifully vibrant as well. So the most brightest pops of colour that you will find from Cadence in their variety range. Now, these were our fastest selling paints we have ever brought to you. We've finally got them back in stock for you as well. I don't know what you were doing then. We've finally got them back in stock, so of course you can use them for painting your flowers, your base coating, your ornamental pieces within your home, blending with them. But I'm also going to quickly share with you a project just around the corner now that you can of course create so easily. But look at that.
Isn't that stunning? That is just beautiful. Absolutely love these. And it goes on just like cream.
Yeah, they're velvety, they're creamy, they're super incredibly smooth. They are brilliant. Now, of course, if you want to do loads of intermixable elements, you can do as well. We've had a question in about, can you mix your paints, your metallics with your Capella? Absolutely, yes, you can do. You can mix your paints with your Capella. You can mix your hybrids with your Capella. Of course, as well, I would always suggest to do your Capella piping and then, of course, sit your metallics on top of it. So paint and blend it in over, of course, that indentation surface. But yeah, give it a go.
I have a little quick question because we've not only got the Capella on the show, we've always also got the Sirius. What is the difference between the two?
Okay, so this one is your lighter. So your Capella has a almost silky finish with this one.
Okay.
Your Sirius is a much more matte finish, okay?
Lovely.
It's almost like a white cement. It's incredibly heavy. You can feel the weight differences between the pots as well. If you were to take that one and this one, I know, right?
There is a marked difference.
There is indeed. So your Sirius is much more heavyweight. So I would suggest using your Sirius for your stenciling to get that high definition and relief. Then also use your Capella for detailing, for piping and going over the top to create a fabulous finish.
God, that was a surprise.
Yeah, it
now,
was.
That is a real marked difference in the weight. So thank you for that, David.
That's
so
okay.
those are both $12.99. Shop Sirius if you want the Sirius one, which is your relief paste, and then your Shop Capella for your Capella at $12.99 too. So what are we doing now, David?
Well, I was really drawn to, of course, these Craftmaster stencils, but actually in particular the Gilded Lines one.
Ooh.
And I wanted to use it as a stencil, not just through my Pro Cut. So let's give it a go. Of course, it's in that fabulous bundle of backgrounds, which has been incredibly busy today because you're saving literally just under £100.
So that is the embossing element of it,
It
is
is
it? You've gone with the
indeed.
thicker stencil.
Absolutely. So I've popped this now for you onto some watercolour cards. You could use it onto canvas, anything at all. And let's get some paint out.
So we've got a fabulous question, everybody. Thank you for this. We love it when you interact with us because that's what, you know, if you're asking the question, then obviously other people are going to be asking as well. So can the paints be used on leather shoes?
Okay, so if you want to work onto leather, I would suggest using something like a hybrid, which is formulated to stick to flexible, porous surfaces like fabric. So I would stick with a hybrid paint for that one. This one is waterproof, so it will still work, of course, on rigid surfaces like out in the garden. But for leather, I wouldn't probably recommend it for that.
Okay.
Okay, I hope that answers that for you, though. Okay. If it was a decorative leather, absolutely, but for footwear that has a lot of movement and a lot of course, interaction with different temperatures and moisture, etc., I probably would say I would steer away from that one. Little decorative elements might be okay, but a full coverage I probably wouldn't suggest. All right.
Thank you, David.
That's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going in with those two beautiful metallics. You can see how the light literally bounces off that domed finish. Okay, so let's go in with some of our wonderful plum. Now this one here, I've taken from the darks collection and I've got my gold from my lights as well. So let's just start in one of the corners, shall we? And just start blending with this beautiful paint. Okay, I've not masked off my edges because I just want to show you again the stencil relief that you get with these. So I'm blending through with that purple, there we go. And you get that wonderful metallic finish. Now the beauty is that when you've gone through and blended, go back over with your stencil brush and pounce, okay? Pounce into the surface. Start to bring some gold into the mix and now bring that through. So we're getting a transition of colour now. You can see how that gold is now blending with that purple together. Look at that. It is absolutely glorious. There's nothing more exciting or satisfying than working with a stencil that allows you to create colour transition like this. There we are. So stipple in again, allowing you not to see the blend. Of course, it is just seamless. It carries over. And I started early with that colour transition because we're going to fade it into gold right through to the other corner. I'm now just working directly into my gold and allowing any of that plum shade to pick up from the surface of the stencil or, of course, from within the bristles themselves. But these stencils are just magnificent, aren't they?
They look stunning.
They really do.
And this is quite effortless blending now, isn't it? You're just allowing what is left of the residue and just adding a little bit more gold each time until it comes through that it's just the gold.
Yeah, I'm just sort of going with it freehand if you like, and just really having fun with the process. Allow your stencil to really enlighten the project. Let it do all of the work for you. The stencil spray, you've got a security. We've blended that through right down here. Going to continue with that gold, but look how it glides on my stencil. I'm not really forcing it through. It just falls into place, and those metallics are brilliant for anything like this. There we go. So take all of that round here and do a little bit of pouncing.
So shop dark for the plum. If you want the plum, that is in the shop dark, and the gold is in your highlight. So shop highlight. And again, you do get 6 bottles of paints within each collection, and they are $29.95, a $5.99 saving. And if you want the stencil, this is from the shop background. This is your Gilded Lines mega buy of your background stencils. $34.99 gets you 6 lots of stencils. In each pack, because they're sets, you get 3 8x8 stencils that bring up your layers, and then you get 1 8x8 embossing stencil, which is the one that David's working with now. £99.95 saving on this collection, $34.99 in total. An incredible saving, absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited about this. So
Me
again,
too.
the stencils David's used, not only has he used that lovely shop pastel, which is the pastels and also the extender paste, this is with the paints. Oh, look at that.
So you've got a wonderful blend on here. It is absolutely gorgeous. Of course, these are with our metallics. You get, of course, that colour run that goes straight from one of the deep tones right to your darkest and your brightest. But look how we were able to create such a strong gradient going the entire of the way through. The stencil itself, spritz that with water, take it to some cardstock, pick up, of course, the negative.
Yes.
You have got so much exploration with these paints, but the consistency of them is second to none. I mean, look at this. If I just pick up a large brush, there we go.
Lovely question. Thank you, Fran. So, a question for the Capella, David, my lovely.
Yeah.
Does the Capella drive onto canvas or do you have to glue it on afterwards?
If you're going directly onto a canvas surface with your Capella, it will dry and stay solid on the surface. It won't come away. Of course, if you're wanting to create individual embellishments that you can peel off and, of course, build up and stick, use that heat-resistant mat that comes, of course, within your bundle. I hope that answers that for you.
Which is fabulous. We love this Capella.
Look at that. So, of course, just blending your colours together, you can see how the pearlescent finish is so apparent in these. It is beautiful. The paint itself literally glides through, but look how neat and concentrated and instant coverage.
Black.
It's on black.
It's covered on black. That is phenomenal. Now you can, because these are water-based as well,
Yeah.
you can add water to these, can't you? And
Absolutely.
turn them into spritzers. So don't think of them as just as paints, because of course our lovely Cadence
colour wash.
family are just alchemists as far as paint's concerned.
Look at
Oh,
that. Right.
sorry. Okay, so we were a bit late coming in, we're a bit late leaving. So love you all. Stay with us in a second because in the next hour it's our lovely Sarah and Lou with Funky Fossil. Check out your baskets. Bye.
Bye.